Good morning, guys. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Yes, your Valkyrie is back. Thank you guys for joining me. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. I'll explain what happened and why I had to take a little break in a couple of minutes. But first, let me say hello to everybody. So, we've got Project Story Time, we have got Ghostwriter, we've got Paris, good morning, Chris Persia and Mark the Infinitely Tired, the Bash Bros. Hello gentlemen, good to see you. We've got Gum Bunny, hello. We have got Arwen Avalon, hello love. Let's see, we've got D-Bud Martin, good morning. Psychodwarf 9, good to see you love. Southern Cecil, hello, good to see you. Phoenix Tangent, welcome, good to see you as well. And hello, Pudgy, hey. Kendra L, hello, sweetheart, good to see you. Good morning, The Geek Inside. Good morning, happy hump day. We're halfway there already. Let's see who else has joined. Colin Smith, hello, honey. Good afternoon, good to see you. Keely Chow, hey, Keely. Roll Tide, good morning. Deadman Walking 55, good morning to you. Hope you're having a good one so far. Let's see who else. Let me scroll up and make sure I'm not missing anybody because you guys were on it this morning, chatting back and forth. Camphor, good morning, Camphor. Good to see you. Let's see, make sure I've not missed anybody. Darth Haster, hello, sweetheart. Good morning. The Fixer One, good morning to you as well. And Pod Racing Palpatine, good afternoon. Good to see you guys. Welcome. Thank you. Manowar 665, good to see you. Hey. Stephen Thompson, hello to you as well, love. Good to see you. MB Geek, good morning to you. Hello, guys. And Little Poet Boy, hey, good morning. Wow, guys. As I said, obviously I haven't been here for the last few days. I just had to take a break. I am sorry. As a lot of you know, I actually had to reach out to the community and ask for your help. And I'm absolutely blown away with the response I got. You guys, you're not just friends, you're family. So thank you so much. Everybody that shared the link, everybody that donated, and everybody that reached out. Thank you guys, seriously. Let's see who else has joined. Zakarat, good morning, good to see you. Hello, Zakarat. I think that was everybody. I don't want to miss anybody. And Armin says, we love you. We love you too, Armin. Thank you, sweetheart. Armin was actually one of the first people to kind of reach out and start sharing, and you guys have absolutely blown me away. Ghostwriter says, what link, what happened, I'll share it. Okay, guys, so let me explain what's happened. Obviously, you know, that the channel's been going fine. We got monetized. I had to reapply to become sole owner of the channel back in April, and everything was going fine. You know, the AdSense was ticking over, super chats were all fine. A couple of days ago, I checked, because I always check periodically to see what's going on, and it didn't match. So I haven't had a payment from YouTube. A couple actually that are missing at the moment. So that's what I've been doing for the last few days, trying desperately to track down what's happened, you know, why why it hasn't gone through. You know, is it a fault on AdSense? Is it a fault on YouTube? Is there something that hasn't gone through? Been talking to the bank. It's that sort of thing. So that's what I've been doing. As you can tell, I have had to turn off super chats and super stickers at the moment, because honestly, I don't want to take your money, guys, because I don't know where it's going. It's being held somewhere, but until I can track it down and find out where it is, all I want to do is give you guys the best show that I can. So that's what's happened at the moment. It's definitely somewhere, but we can't find where. So as soon as I get it sold, I will let you guys know. But a massive, massive thank you to everybody who stepped up and helped me. I really didn't want to have to resort to asking, because I know so many people need help more. But you guys have been incredibly generous, so thank you. Seriously, thank you very, very much. And hello to Yitzy. Good morning. Hello, Wendology. Hello, sweetheart. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Phoenix Tangent says, please set up a Streamlabs. I do have a Streamlabs. It should be in the description. I just don't like to use it very often, that's all. The channel was never about money anyway. That's not why I set this up. I set this up because at the time we'd just gone into lockdown. It was very hard to kind of connect with people. I wanted to be able to talk to people and to do a YouTube channel, to be able to do this live streaming. This is the best possible way that I found to get to talk to friends. And I'm very, very lucky that the channel's done as well as it has done. So, and you guys are the ones to thank for that. Dadbad Walking says, good call on turning those off until it's figured out. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to be messing you guys around. It's just not worth it. I've left the memberships on at the moment because I really want to do a big membership stream with you guys, hopefully tomorrow or Friday. But after that, I will probably turn the memberships off as well. So I don't want you guys to be charged for something that I can't give back at the moment. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And Daryl the Derelict says, the fellowship has your back. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. It really does. I as I say, I was blown away by how generous you guys have been. Not just with monetary donations, but with your time as well. Just reaching out and seeing what's going on. Is there anything we can do? Sharing the link. Thank you guys. Nearsighted Cyclops says, the spiffing Brit has his whole site deleted recently. Is this attack on PV? I hope not. I hope it's just a little hiccup in between communication between YouTube and AdSense. For anyone that doesn't have a channel, basically what it does is 2 codes, and the codes have to match. If the codes don't match, then the money goes somewhere, but not where you want it to go. So you always have to make sure that the codes match. And that's what I've had to make sure. And it does. Absolutely. And Deadman Walking says, I'm excited about an MSD3K stream. I haven't been to one of those yet. Yes. Let me just get a couple more comments and we'll talk about that, guys. Absolutely. And Davhasta says, Valhalla has you. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Pod Racing Palpatine says, no, I'm working then. Well, we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. We'll find out when's the best time for everybody, because what I'll do is I'll just open it up to all members. Everyone can jump in and we'll just have a chat, because we haven't done it for a while. Geek Inside, this is why if Script Doctor ever gets monetized, I'm not going to do it. It's all about fun and connections for me anyway. Absolutely, it is. Yes, nobody. I would absolutely never say to people, you have to tip. That's not what we're here for. Anything that you guys are willing to give, we are incredibly grateful for. But you're absolutely right. And like I said, the reason that I started this channel was to connect with people. And I've been incredibly lucky because I've connected with all of you guys. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Oh, thank you guys. Phoenix Tangents just tipped $10. Thank you, sweetheart. What I will do is, because I can't get into it at the moment, I'm going to do a square up on Friday's show. So everybody who sent anything, if you've sent a message, I will read them out at the beginning of the show. Thank you so much, Phoenix Tangent. Thank you, honey. And I did just see another one as well. Let me grab it. Guardian of the North. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I just saw Mexican Iron Man. Good morning, puppy. He says, what the hell? Been so slammed with work and poorly midnight. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go into that link now. Someone stole months of hard work. F that, armor on. Well, we don't know that that's the case. It's somewhere. That's what I'm trying to do at the moment, is track it down to find out where it's gone. It's sitting somewhere, but it certainly hasn't come through. So we'll get to the bottom of it. Don't worry. So we were talking about it in the chat before the stream started, and you guys seem to be really into the idea of doing an MST3K show. Now, I was lucky enough to do one with Project Storytime. God, last year I think it was, wasn't it, Josh? It was a while ago. I definitely, we've got more fans out there. I would love to do another one. So what I was thinking is, if we have a panel, maybe do like a top 5 episode each, and just kind of compare and just see which is the most popular. I think we'd probably have quite similar lists, which should be quite funny. But if anybody's interested, just drop me a line. I would absolutely love to do that. I think it would be a really fun show to do. I love MST3K and Riff Tracks. Riff Tracks is awesome as well. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Good morning to Low Spec Linux Laptop. Hello, love. And good morning to Brightest Day. Good to see you, sweetheart. I hope you're having a good one as well. Paris says, wow, you're tough. What a bummer month you've had. Wow, I've been very lucky. I've got all of you guys with me as well. You guys are amazing. But that's what we do. I had some really good advice over the weekend. You just kind of pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back into it. And that's what we're doing today. That's why we're here. Absolutely. I've got a lot of shows planned coming up. I've got reviews to do. I need to get back with Paris to finish those reviews, which I promise, honey, we will absolutely do. So there's definitely a lot more content coming. I needed a little break just to kind of reset. And good afternoon to Firefly. Hello, love. Good to see you. Darpasta says we should do riff tracks. We could do both. We could do MST3K and riff tracks. That would be pretty awesome. Project Storytime says, I remember almost killing Sammy, showing off every single MST3K DVD. Good times. Oh, that was funny. We just kept pulling them out and just had this enormous pile that you have the most amazing collection. I'm very, very jealous. Absolutely. Pod Racing Palpatine says riff tracks. God, I'm such a boomer. No, not at all. I don't think it was as popular over here. I definitely remember watching it on Sci-Fi, when Sci-Fi used to be Sci-Fi instead of Sci-Fi. So that was that's where we used to have it. And I think you guys used to do the Turkey Day marathons, if I remember correctly. So it was either a 24-hour or 48-hour marathon back to back of the episodes, which was really cool. I would have loved to have watched that. I wouldn't have moved off the sofa. Oh, a Mexican Iron Man. Puppy. Thank you. Seriously. I need to send you a message later on. But that's incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And so Goodwolf says MST3K Godzilla. Which Godzilla? Do you mean the new Godzilla, or the Godzilla that came out in, was it the 90s? The one that looked like the iguana? I think that would be a pretty funny film to pull apart. Deadman Walking says, offhand, thinking in Dario on MST3K and Starship Troopers for riff tracks. That would be pretty cool. I love Starship Troopers. Haven't seen that film in a long time. That would be amazing. And Hail Mexican Iron Man. Oops. Psycho Dwarf, I grabbed you, sorry. Let me grab that. Hail Mexican Iron Man. Absolutely, Paris. Thank you. Absolutely. Mark says, hold it together, boss. I'm trying, Mark. I'm trying. But I'm very emotional anyway. That's just who I am. My emotions are always close to the surface. You know, being happy, being sad, being angry, they're always there. MD Geek says, Purple Valkyrie kind of got into this with a person. The current writers, directors, etc. They look at Doctor Who, Star Trek, as just TV shows, not inspirations, as most of us do. That I would agree with, yeah, especially with the really big IPs. They just seem to be, it's something that has been very, very popular over the years. It's something that they think that they can take and kind of twist and make it their own. Whereas all the fans really want, obviously, at the end of the day, is good entertainment. They want the IPs to be respected. They want the lore to be followed. So I'd absolutely agree with you. But I think, as you say, Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars are the big three when it comes to that. Definitely. We've got writers and directors that just do not care for the source material anymore, as we've seen countless times over the past few years. And sadly for you Dune fans, it looks like it seems to be going that way for Dune as well. And I had such high hopes for that film. This could have been one of those films that launched the blockbuster. It could have got people back into cinemas in a huge way. Project Storytime says Brits have emotions. I thought it was a stiff upper lip and all that. Purple Valkyrie has subverted my expectations. Kendra Ralph, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Psychodwarf says, one of my favourite things is making Purple Valkyrie have to mute from laughing. It's happened a few times. It has. Absolutely. You guys are the best. You really are. Let's see who else has joined. Troy Pasani. Hello, honey. Good to see you. He says, Mexican Eye Man. It's just about my favourite YouTuber, but I think Purple Valkyrie has the best YouTube voice. Oh, thank you, honey. And guys, I will be back on camera as well. I mean, I can turn the camera on now, but I look a mess. So I don't want to subject you to that. I've got glasses and a t-shirt on, jeans, and not looking exactly presentable at the moment. But I have fixed the camera at least. And good morning to Dave Bob. Hello, good to see you. And Winter Hands ASMR, good to see you as well. Good afternoon, honey. Mark says I haven't railroaded a show in a while. Don't get any ideas, Mark. And Stephen Thompson says SDD has sonar in space. Now that could work on MST3K. It could, but I bet even they would think it was too stupid, to be honest. And Ghostwriter says the first one is going to be amazing. The second one is going to be woke garbage. I think you're probably right. I saw the trailer for it. I love the cast. Excuse me. I thought they were actually really well done. I thought, yeah, this is something I can actually get behind. I'm going to put my hands up. I am not the biggest Dune fan. I've watched various versions of the film. Haven't seen the TV series, which a lot of people recommend. And I read the book probably about 20 plus years ago, so it's been a while. But this, I think it really could have energized people. This could have been something to kind of kick off sci-fi in a really big way again. But I agree. I think the first one, I think people are going to enjoy. But the second one, now that they're talking, it does seem that they're going down the woke route. God, I hope not. Oh, thank you, Chris. He says, speaking on behalf of everybody here, Purple, you in a sweatshirt with glasses would still win our hearts over Skyjo. Oh, thank you. Thank you, honey. Stephen Thompson says, you're still cute, camera on. And Kendra says, not presentable? My dear, you are fully clothed. I am, honey. I promise I'm fully clothed. Hold on. Let me see if I can actually move, because I'm actually sitting on the sofa, because that's what I do when I'm not, when I have the stream turned off, usually camera. Let me see. Hey, there I am. Hi, guys. See, as I see. That's what's happening today. And Colin says, what? Not a Dune fan? Hashtag cancel sorry, Sammy. Sorry, Purple. I, I, I liked it. I'm just not a huge Dune fan. That's all. That's the difference. Hello, brightest day. Hello, honey. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good one as well. So that's pretty much what I was going to do today. I do have a couple of actual articles that I'm going to go into at the moment, so I will pull those up. But you guys are really sweet, and what I wanted to do before I kind of went into it and got into the pop culture side, I just wanted to kind of catch up with everybody and kind of tell you what was going on and just thank you, because you guys are, as I said, this isn't a community anymore. People have said it. This is a family, and I think this is what more and more people are realizing now. You know, these connections that we've made over YouTube, you know, over Discord, over the past 18 months, they are incredibly important to people. Chris says, not often we see Purple in a different room. Glad to see her relaxing on the sofa. Yes, that's generally what I do if the camera's not on. If I'm not in the office, I'll be on the sofa. So let me share. Let me get the share screen. So the first one that I was going to talk about, if it'll pop up. Paris says she's wearing Doom's armor. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so this one that we've got, it's just a short one from Bounding into Comics. So I've got to admit, I actually quite liked him in Suicide Squad. A lot of people I know don't like Taika Waititi. I can take him or leave him, to be honest. Is he the greatest director ever? No, absolutely not. But I think there are definitely worse people out there. But this is the rumour, and we will stress rumour, that the Thor Love and Thunder director is in talks to helm a DC film. So pretty much the same as James Gunn. Thor Ragnarok director and featured player in the Suicide Squad, Taika Waititi, may join James Gunn in jumping ship from Marvel to DC films for a new project that would put the Ratcatcher 1 performer in the chair yanning action. According to one of their alleged sources, Giant Freaking Robot reports that whilst filming his handful of scenes for the Suicide Squad, Waititi had a conversation with Gunn and a few Warner Brother executives about the possibility of him helming a DC film. There are no further details put forward, but this hasn't stopped the speculation, as based on his appearance as a bit player in the failed 2011 Green Lantern movie, his resume of comic action movies, and his continued working relationship with Ryan Reynolds, the notorious Hal Jordan of a decade ago, it is believed that Waititi will get a crack at a reboot of The Emerald Knight. Now, I think that's going to make a lot of Green Lantern fans nervous. I would love to see a great Green Lantern movie. I think the one that we got was pretty damn terrible, to be honest. Let's be fair. So I would definitely be all for, you know, getting a film that the character really deserves. The new Green Lantern feature with Hal and maybe Jon Stewart, that would be awesome, is currently in some phase of development alongside Jeff Johns' long-planned Green Lantern Corps film. Johns is also involved in the Green Lantern HBO Max series, which may lead to fresh appearances from both Jordan and Stewart on the streaming service exclusive series. So again, DC seems to be following Marvel's lead when it comes to this. So they're having spin-off TV shows that tie very closely in with the films to kind of have this again, cohesive universe. I know it sounds harsh, but I really, really wish that DC would kind of do their own thing, find their own groove, and just kind of run with it. Because them trying to emulate Marvel's templates, it just hasn't worked for them. They really, really need to try and figure out what they can do. Now, the DC have done very well with the animated films. That's probably where their strength is at the moment. But the live action, they're very, very hit and miss. GFR notes that Waititi has a way of getting involved with Disney IPs and, subsequently, being entrusted with more responsibility regarding their IPs. He and Marvel have made a hit out of Thor Ragnarok, which made him the man for Love and Thunder job that has just wrapped. Let me jump back a minute, guys. Is anybody that hyped about Love and Thunder? I mean, I can't think of anything or anybody that gives a crap about this film. And I know it's coming. I know it's on the way, but they're not talking about it. Even Marvel aren't talking about it. And hello, Dave Bob says Marvel Phase 4 is going to bomb bigger than Little Boy at Hiroshima. Wow. Brightest day, I knew that's the reaction that you would have. Throws pizza across the room, absolutely. God, I hope it's going to be a good film, but isn't it horrible that we now have such low expectations for these films? And Pete Ward, hello, good to see you. It says, hi, Purple, just a quick bob in to say hail. Hail to you too, honey. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a great one. And Kendra says, even Ryan Reynolds thinks it sucks. He did. I remember at the end of Deadpool where they're making fun of it. That was pretty damn funny. And Colin says, as Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory suggests, Green Lantern starring Nathan Fillion. That I could have seen, definitely, 10 years ago. I think he definitely could have pulled it off. But the character that people really want to see, obviously, is John Stewart. That's the character that we want. Project Storytime says, great, more Green Lantern. They screwed it up before the woke took over Hollywood. They did, yeah, they made it too jokey. It was a really odd film. And I don't think that Ryan Reynolds was, a bad choice, but I think he was badly cast for the role that he played. Dadman Walking says Green Lantern was one of my favourite superheroes of all time who has never gotten enough attention on the big and small screen. Agreed. He absolutely agreed. Similar to Fantastic Four, I think this is something that deserves a really, really good director that knows what they're doing with the characters. I just really pray that he does know what he's doing and he doesn't just try and copy what James Gunn has done with Suicide Squad, because what James Gunn did with Suicide Squad was to copy what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy, but just kind of turn all the dials up to 11. Pod Racing Palpatine says Ryan Reynolds is a one-trick pony. Absolutely. Claude Parrish, hello, good morning. 10 years ago, Nathan Fillion would have made a good Green Lantern, but back then he didn't need it. Agreed. Absolutely. Oops, sorry, it skipped on me. Arwen says, sorry, just can't handle Jane as Thor. If that makes me sexist, I don't care. It's stupid. I absolutely agree. I do not like her as Thor. I don't think she wants to be Thor. I remember the was it one of the Comic-Cons where they kind of announced it and they hand her Mjolnir and she's just kind of holding it by the strap like it's going to explode. It's like, please take this away from me. So that was really not a good sign to be getting off with. And I've seen some of the on-set leaked photos of what she looks like. And it's like, oh, God, guys, why did you think that this was a good idea? MB Geek says, Purple Valkyrie, I think Jon Favreau knows Marvel is on the tail end. And that's why he focused on Star Wars TV shows. I think so. I think you're probably right, MB Geek. I think we've talked about it before, and we've definitely talked about it on this channel. We've had so much comic book related films, TVs, animation, games over the years. I think people are just kind of burned out on it now. We need something new. We need something fresh. And again, going back to Dune, I think this would have been the absolute perfect time to kind of relaunch the whole sci-fi genre. Um, that's what I would love to see. We need more great sci-fi. We need more great horror films. You know, we haven't had a really good horror franchise in a very long time. Westerns. We haven't had westerns. And even musicals, I wouldn't mind having back if they were done properly. That would be pretty cool. Just, I think there's just so much content when it comes to comic book related IPs now. People are just kind of, who cares? And Pete Ward, thank you, honey. Thank you so much. He's just joined as a new member. Welcome to you. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Much appreciated, honey. Stephen Thompson says Marvel has to get through the disaster called Shang-Chi and Eternals before worrying about Thor. Yes, I did see the new photos released today for the Eternals, and to be honest, I wasn't impressed. I think Shang-Chi is really going to struggle in theatres. I know they've given them this like 45-day window before it gets released, but I don't think it's going to help. I just don't think the hype is there for this character. And if you've been on Twitter in the last few days, the bots are out in force. Everybody's, hyping up Shang-Chi, saying, I've been a fan of this comic since the 1970s. No, you haven't. This isn't one of the popular characters. Now, granted, Guardians of the Galaxy weren't either, but this is based on a much more recent iteration of the Guardians, and it was something different. It wasn't anything like any of the other Marvel films. That's why it captured people's imaginations and did so well. MB Geek asks, when do you want to do the Universal Monster movies? I am shopping to talk about Bride and so many others with you, as you are a fan. Absolutely. Send me a DM and we'll figure it out. Maybe not this Friday, but the Friday after we could do. Let's chat back and forth and see what we can figure out. Winter Hands says, watched the Boss Level on Prime the other day. It was really good. Nice. I've actually got another article about a film that I watched recently that I'm going to talk about. That's just really silly. So I'll get to that in a minute. Firefest says you should read what I've written. Let me have a look. Let me scroll up and see. But yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the case with Shang-Chi. I don't think people are really that interested. It's not something that I'm going to go see in the cinema. Most definitely. Will I watch it? Probably. Will I review it? I doubt it. And the Eternals, I don't have any interest in either, I've got to admit. Because it just doesn't make any sense. Let's see. I'm trying to find your comment, Firefly, but I can't see it. Could you put it back in and I'll read it out for you? Thank you. Sorry, honey. Dadman says buffering. Yeah, sometimes it does, unfortunately. Oh, okay. Sorry, honey. Firefly is an author, guys. He said, I meant my book, Rise and Shine. Absolutely. Yes, guys. Again, we've got a lot of independent creators in the community, and Firefly is one of them. So definitely would check in that one out. Darfasta says now would be a great time for Universal and the Dark Universe if they didn't crap the bed again. Do you think that's dead though, Hasta? Do you think that that's kind of dead and buried? Not to give a pun, because after The Mummy, I don't think it's coming back. I remember them talking about it and hyping up this cast because we had Johnny Depp, we had all these famous actors ready to play, Dracula and Frankenstein's monster and the Wolfman and Invisible Man, and then it just died. And obviously we know who to blame for that. It was Kurtzman. It's amazing. But on the other hand, we do have a kind of resurgence in interest coming from Universal in the Universal parks in Florida, because they are actually building a Universal Monsters area just dedicated to those films. So I'd be curious to see. I don't think we're ever going to get the Dark Universe that we were promised, but perhaps we will get a couple more of the more famous monster movies coming back out. Let's have a look. Hasta says they should bring it back, and Mark says monster movies are dead right now. I think so. I think that's partly to do with Blumhouse as well, who I'm not much of a fan of too. It's all kind of either it's the shaky cam that we got from the 90s that kind of took off, which I always hated because it made me feel motion sickness. I never liked those, like Blair Witch Project. I never liked that kind of thing. Or it was more the kind of visceral. It was the Saw films. It was it was those sort of films that really kind of took off. And then we had Jordan Peele's films as well, who I'm not a big fan of. So I just kind of skipped it. But there's plenty of great horror films to go back to, obviously. And speaking of horror films, let me share the other article that I was going to talk about today. So let me get that. Where is it? So, guys, this is a really dumb film that I would absolutely recommend if you want to just switch your brain off. So I watched it on a whim because I was curious. I'm actually quite a big fan of Nick Cage. I don't think he's a fantastic actor by any means, but I do think he's entertaining. So I thought, well, we'll give it a go. And the film, obviously, is Willy's Wonderland. But according to this article, there is a really crazy story that went on behind this. I mean, of course, it's got Nicolas Cage attached. There just would be, wouldn't there? So I thought we would kind of go through this, and I'll give my kind of views on the film as well, as we do. So, this one is from Entertainment Weekly. Nick Cage is into reptiles. That's probably the least surprising thing about this article. The insane behind-the-scenes story of Willy's Wonderland. How an unknown actor and luckless director teamed with Nicolas Cage to create 2021's first cult movie. So it says, in a film in which Oscar winner Nicolas Cage battles a series of giant animatronic creatures, just the thing to raise the spirits as we head into the second year of the pandemic. Thanks, guys. Judging by the online reaction to the new action horror movie, Willy's Wonderland, since the film was released on VOD over the weekend, the answer is a definite yes. I've got to admit, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to think of it when I went into it, but it's a switch your brain off kind of movie, and I actually enjoyed it. It's dumb, but it knows it's dumb. It's got very, very tongue-in-cheek humor. Nicolas Cage, it's doing his absolute best to be kind of like the straight man, but you can tell he's trying not to laugh a lot of the time because it's just so dumb. And weirdly enough, considering he is such a big star, I know he's been fading for the past, couple of decades now. But he has no lines in this film, which surprised me. So it goes on to say, all the horror fans are digging it. Kevin Lewis told EW of the film, which co-stars Emily Toster and Beth Grant. So many amazing reviews and watch parties. The college kids are loving it. People watching it 3, 4, 5 times. That's what I wanted, man. Especially with what's going on in the world and the pandemic. We have an 81% audience review on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. It's really kind of cool. I'm old school. I'm about Siskel and Ebert. But now it's like the power of the people. Audiences speak, and they've spoken. They dig it, and it's awesome. I'm actually really happy for the director that people like the film as much as they did. Like I say, it's not great cinema, but it certainly is entertaining. So In Willy's Wonderland, Cage plays a mysterious gentleman called the janitor, who is forced to spend the night cleaning out the titular restaurant. In between getting handy with the disinfectant, the character drinks a lot of soda, plays a lot of pinball, and, oh yeah, systematically demolishes one possessed monster after another, all without saying a word. And guys, if you do watch this film, one of the things that actually really struck me was how good the creatures look, because these are they're not CGI, obviously, they're costume and animatronic. These things, they actually look great, and they're all voiced, and they've got real proper voice actors doing them, and they're all given their own personality. I was actually really surprised with just how in depth they gave these animatronic characters. It really looks great. And if anyone's ever played Five Nights at Freddy, that's the kind of idea that they're going for. I know there is supposed to be a Five Nights at Freddy film coming out, but Willy's Wonderland got here first. So, sorry, guys. It goes on to say, you can't take it seriously, screenwriter G.O. Parsons told us. You have to be able to mock it and say, this thing just attacked him and now he's cleaning a stove. What's going on? He definitely plays the straight man. Nothing really kind of phases him in this film. He just gets on with it, does the job that he's supposed to do. Very, very stoic. It's actually pretty funny because all of the other characters in this, all the other human characters, I should say, in this film are way over the top. You know, they're all overacting and reacting to what's going on. But Nicolas Cage is just cool and calm and just gets on with the job. The release of the film shows a traumatic period for Lewis, who was recently diagnosed with COVID. I was so very close to not making it, the director said. Those nurses and doctors are the real heroes. I'm doing a lot better. Every day I'm getting stronger and feeling more like myself. It was a life-changing experience for sure. I was very close to not making it. I'm here, I'm talking with you, and it's awesome. I'm glad he's okay. I am very glad he's well. And he sounds like he's kind of very grateful to have gotten through this. So, good for him. Below, Lewis and Parsons talk us through the making of Willy's Wonderland and tease us a possible second adventure for Cage's janitor. So, before I kind of skip through a few of these, let me jump back and see what you guys are saying. Has anybody seen the film? Is this something that you'd be interested in? Let's have a look. Chris says they knew how to rein in Cage's antics in delivering dialogue by not giving him any. I couldn't agree with you more. The one thing that Cage does have a tendency to do is overact. Bless him. But I still like him. Let's see what you guys are saying. And hello to Nerdporial Lifefilm. Good to see you. And Rab Marshall, hello. We're talking about a rather silly horror / comedy / just whatever film that I saw a few weeks ago, Willy's Wonderland, with Nicolas Cage. I'm just kind of giving my thoughts on it and just going through this article as well, because apparently it was a bit nuts making this film. And hello, Snorter Poopers Cuba. Good to see you. And Jack of all casuals, welcome, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Snorter Poopers says, sounds like an amazing... Sounds like my idea for a porn film, The Amazing Adventures of Willy the Inchworm. And Project Storytime says, didn't it kind of rip off Five Nights at Freddy's? Kinda, yeah. More than a little bit. Yes, absolutely. It did. I'm not quite sure how they managed to get away with it. It probably will tell us in the article when I jump back to it. But yeah, yep. Anyone who's played Five Nights at Freddy's will absolutely recognise what's going on and the plot. Jack of all casual says, sounds like a anti-Nick Cage movie, so I don't know what to feel about it. He's definitely more subdued in this film. He's not his usual kind of bouncing off the walls that he usually does. He's very much the kind of silent, strong, silent kind of character, almost like a throwback to kind of the 80s, very kind of stoic. That's what they've gone for. He just kind of gets on with the job and really doesn't react in any way to what's going on. Whereas, most people would be freaking out that they're being attacked by these gigantic homicidal animatronics. Apparently, you guys in the US have something called Chuck E. Cheese's. Now, I didn't know what that was until I looked it up, but that's the kind of plot. It's a restaurant with these huge animatronic creatures that, sing and dance and kind of, people take their kids to birthday parties, or used to, before what happens in the plot happens. Borgporg, hello. It says the main girl in the movie looks like a dark-skinned Latin version of Christanova. She was very cute. She really was. Yeah, they had a good cast. The younger cast actually were pretty good, and they definitely play off Nicolas Cage very well. He seemed to be having a really good time. Paris says it's like showbiz pizza. Okay. And Armin says Chuck E. Cheese always gives me the creeps. If you don't like Chuck E. Cheese, this one will probably hit a nerve because the characters are definitely kind of larger than life. The one that I didn't like the most, I think, was probably the ostrich because it was just so weird. Troy Passani said Five Nights at Freddy's is clearly meant to be allegory for showbiz / Chuck E. Cheese's. Absolutely. And I think that's probably why they managed to get away with this film the way they did, because it's based off something else, which is based off something else. Absolutely. Mark says Chuck E. Cheese is where kids go to get kidnapped for Small World in Disney World. And Keely, yes, that's a great episode. That had Doug Jones in. One of my favourite episodes for Buffy the Vampire Slayer is Hush. For most of the episode, there were no lines spoken. Yes, I remember that episode. Probably one of the best episodes, if I remember correctly. Definitely. But let me jump back to the article and let's see what we've got to say. I want to find out about the reptiles. I don't know about you guys. So, just grab a drink. Geo Parsons. I was writing and acting in a bunch of plays, trying to make a break for myself. It started out like La La Land, where you do a play and one person's in the audience, or two people and they're on their cell phone the whole time. So I started making the play events where you could bring drinks and your friends. That was really fun. I was doing that, and this person comes up to me afterwards and says, "This stuff you're doing is fantastic, but it's not going to advance your career because the play only lasts as long as the play." He's like, "If you want to do something good, you're going to have to make a movie." And that was the very start of it. Me talking to him in that parking lot that night. I was like, well, I don't have any money, so I'll keep it low budget, a horror movie. There's probably just going to be me doing this, so I'll keep it in one location. And then if I'm running the camera and doing all this other stuff, I probably shouldn't give myself a lot of lines. I'll just have the character be silent the whole time. I'd grown up on the border of California and Nevada, and there was this place called Boomtown outside of Reno. People would go and gamble, and they'd drop the kids off at Boomtown to be babysat while they played craps. And Boomtown had these animatronics. I was like, okay, that'll be it. This guy has to go clean this place up, and these things attack him. But the twist of it should be they messed with the wrong person. I wanted a movie where they just picked the wrong dude and he mopped the floor with them the entire time. I don't know if I can play the trailer, or at least this little bit. You won't hear anything because I haven't shared audio, but to give you an idea of what these things look like, let's see if it'll play. There you are, guys, to give you some sort of idea of what these things look like. There's that ostrich. I hate that ostrich. But yeah, it's definitely very tongue-in-cheek when it comes to a horror movie. And like he said in the article, just what he was talking about it, you can make a really good low-budget horror movie. I mean, Saw, for example, was made on a shoestring budget and went on to be almost a cult classic or cult following. So I don't know whether this one will. It seems like they're getting a sequel, but I enjoyed it for what it was. So, Kevin Lewis said, I hadn't directed a movie in a while. I worked on a movie for a couple of years and it looked like I was going to get greenlit and then it just collapsed. Parsons says, Kevin is one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my life. Kevin and I come from similar backgrounds where we both felt like we hadn't been given our due yet. And Kevin made some movies in the early 2000s, but he felt like he didn't get a fair shake with those movies. I can definitely understand that. I mean, I would imagine it's extremely difficult to kind of get a break in Hollywood, and these guys look like they've spent a long time trying to kind of just get that little bit of recognition for something they've done. So I actually hope that this does kickstart their careers and they do go on to make great things. So, going on to talk about Nicolas Cage, Parsons said I'd given the script to a casting director whose name was Venus Kanai. Venus says, listen, I know you're trying to make your break, but if you give this to somebody of some stature, you could have a real movie here. She was the person who stuck her neck out for me and for all of us and knocked on Nicolas Cage's door and was able to pitch his manager, Mike Nealon. Mike read it on a Friday morning. He gave it to Nick on a Friday night. I stared at this pink wall behind me for like 48 hours whilst Nick read the thing. On Monday morning, we got a call and it said, yeah, Nick Cage wants to make this movie. That's how miraculously this happened. And here's the reptile thing. Nick is into reptiles. He's into amphibians. He's into dinosaurs. He was the one who was like, hey, make this thing an alligator. Make this thing a chameleon. Let's get a turtle instead of a regular mammal. Lewis went on to say Nick loved that it had no dialogue. There was one of the draws for sure. In fact, in the original script, there was one piece of dialogue at the end when he's going to fight Willie. He says a line. I'm kind of glad he didn't, to be honest. Pretty much throughout the whole film, you're kind of waiting to see if he's going to react in any way, if he's going to finally freak out. But I really like the whole kind of stoic, silent hero that they went for. Parsons said, when I originally wrote the script, I put one line in, which was, come at me, bro. He and Willie are staring at each other. He goes, come at me, bro. I'm kind of glad they didn't, I've got to admit. Let's see if there's anything else that I can pick out before we finish this article. And what I might do is actually link this article in the description if anyone's interested, because I have gone through this and it's actually a pretty interesting read to kind of get the ins and outs of how nuts it is to make a film on such a small budget and then have this actually quite big star want to be involved. So it was a real kind of eye-opener for these guys. Let's see what else we've got. So they're talking... There's the ostrich again. God, I hate that ostrich. Let's see if there's anything else I can pick out. This was much longer than I remember, so I might have to kind of go over this later. But I think, let me jump back. The upshot, guys, of this, if I take that down, is that I would actually really recommend this film. Don't go into this thinking that it's going to be, amazing. It's not. But if you want something that's lighthearted, if you want to see Nick Cage fighting a giant weasel, this is the film for you. And MV Geek, I will absolutely check. Thank you, honey. Much appreciated. I will have a look. It says Willie's the killer. Jack of all casual says, note to self, never wait alone near kid zones. Indeed. Absolutely. Dave Bob says Bubba Hotep was another. Yes, that's a great film. Another one that I haven't seen for a long time. God, I love Bruce Campbell. Great actor. Winterhand says Brain Dead was the classic. Yes. Wasn't that Peter Jackson's first film, if I remember correctly. He just made it because he on a whim he wanted to do it to see if he could. Project Storytime says, this is what we need more of, guys, just the normal system and just doing it for themselves. Absolutely, well said. Yeah, I think these guys, both of them, the director and the producer, seem to have worked really hard, and they're proud of what they produced, and they should be. I think it's going to be one of those films that's going to be a cult classic, I think. So I definitely recommend it. Dave Bob says Evil Dead was a great low budget horror film. It was. Sam Raimi did a brilliant job with that, you know, especially with the practical effects and the sound that he used. If I remember correctly, to make the sound of like the tendons tearing and flesh tearing, he actually stabbed a pencil into an apple and just kind of wiggled it back and forth to make this kind of cracking noise. It's kind of ingenious when you don't have a big budget what you can do. And JPRPH1, thank you, honey. Good to see you. Arwin says Willy, a giant weasel. Laughing my ass off. Yes, Willy is a giant orange weasel. Absolutely. I'm trying to remember what the other characters are. Like I said, that they're mostly kind of animals that you would find kind of in a swamp. It's not kind of cutesy, kind of like a rabbit or a dog or a cat. It's more it's like an alligator, a weasel, a turtle, and for some I don't know reason, I know I keep coming back to it, this bloody ostrich, which has the weirdest voice. Gogo 13, hello honey, good to see you, says it's more freaky indeed. Jack of all casuals, is that the same weasel from Suicide Squad? Now that's a movie I'd watch. Absolutely. Mark says I'm gonna watch this movie. Let me know what you think of it if you do, please. Like I said, don't go into it expecting it to be incredible, but just kind of switch your brain off the same Suicide Squad, in fact, and just have fun with it. Because I did. It's very silly and it's quite easy to find. Claude Paris says Nick has 5 ex-wives. I bet that factors into his choice of, I don't know, every script he sees. Oh, that's the thing with Nick Cage. He seems to take on every script that lands on his desk. So I bet if we made a film, we could probably get him to be in it as well. And Pod Racing Palpatine, yes, I do remember the banana splits, and I do know that there is a horror version of the banana splits. But this is actually a better. And Troy says Teddy Ruxpin is due for the horror film treatment. Honestly, I could definitely see that. You know, that landfill full of Teddy Ruxpins that they buried out in the desert somehow become sentient and dig their way out and, you know, start attacking people. I could see that as a horror film. I think we could probably get that going. Somebody write that down for me, please, and copyright that. And hello to Captain Spire. Good to see you. Kendra L says, Purple Valkyrie, ostrich doesn't belong in a swamp. No, it's really out of place. I don't know why an ostrich. It's just there. I could have understood if it was like a duck or like a crane, I guess, or a heron, maybe. But no, it's definitely an ostrich. And Havoshe says, I like Nick Cage. I like Nick Cage too. I've got to admit, I've got a bit of a soft spot for him. The only film that I really hated him in was The Wicker Man. That's a film that did not need remaking because the original is such a classic. I went to have to watch it with my son. He loves Friday, Five Nights at Freddy's. God, couldn't get my words out then. I think he'll enjoy it. It's not massively kind of, it's kind of cartoony violence, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of kind of it's gory, but in an over the top kind of way. So I think he'll enjoy it, depending on how old he is. Absolutely. Oh. And Hasta says, let's brainstorm Rise and Shine. We can write it together. Deal. And Nearsighted Cyclops says, good news. No ostrich in the Great Dismal Swamp. Awesome. You guys are all coming up with 80s ideas with IPs for horror movies. Captain Spice says, My Little Pony Apocalypse Pony. Oh, God. You guys are crazy, but you are the best. So, hello, Kaylee. Good morning, honey. Good to see you. Guys, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. As I said earlier, massive, massive thank you for all your support. You guys are, well, you guys are the best, quite frankly. I'm very, very lucky to call you friends, to call you family. And obviously, we're here for each other. We pay it forward, and that's what I intend to do. The support that you guys have shown has blown me away. So thank you. Seriously, thank you guys. Oops, dropped my phone on the floor nearly. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so very much. I will be back Friday. Not quite sure what we're going to do. I might do just kind of like a free-for-all. Might do something kind of more of a relaxed show, and then from as of Monday, I'm going to do a much more structured. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do and kind of reach out to more people, and we'll get the ball rolling again. Like I say, pick yourself up, dust yourself back off, and get back to work. That's what we do. But you guys are the best, so thank you, big thank you. Oh, love you too, Kaylee. Thank you, Daryl. Much appreciated. Arwen, absolutely, we stand together. We do, not just in Valhalla, but in the wider community as well. And that's one of the things that I noticed from watching everybody in Vegas. You know, everybody had a great time. Everybody got on. It was a chance for people to let their hair down and just spend time with each other. And I think it's absolutely what everybody needed. So big thank you. Massive thank you to everybody who were kind enough to use Stream Elements today. You guys, I will get back on that. I will have any messages ready Friday morning, and I will read them out for you. And thank you all individually. Massive thank you to people for joining this morning. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, honey. And Captain Spire, thank you, sweetheart. Much appreciated. It says, we're here for you, Purple. Thank you. Here for you as well. That's what we do. So, guys, have a fantastic day. Hope to see you guys soon. And as I say, we're back Friday. So, guys, have a wonderful one, and be good to each other. Thank you, guys. Purple Valkyrie loves you. Mwah.